Hello and welcome everybody to another MachoorTV video. Today we're gonna talk about the Zangief matchup. How do you beat Zangief with Ryu? This does not only apply to Ryu players, but it can also apply to Ken players, to Luke players, to people who have a fireball, okay? Characters who have a fireball, people who play characters who have fireballs, they can apply these same tips to the Zangief matchup. I've personally played this matchup for, oh my goodness, we just got an invite from a Zangief player. I was just about to mention the same guy. I've played this matchup for hundreds of hours in Street Fighter 5 and also in Street Fighter 6, because of that same dude. He's a Zangief player and he's my best friend, so I've played with him for many hours, so I already know the matchup. I already know what to do in this matchup and all the ins and outs. So let me show you guys my tips, and let's just go to the training mode. Special announcement. So far on this channel, I've helped you guys with tips on how to improve as a Street Fighter 6 player. I have given you matchup knowledge and game strategies, and of course a lot of hype matches. Well, now I'm announcing memberships for people who are trying to improve in Street Fighter 6. Your requests have been answered. You get a 30-minute monthly one-on-one coaching session with me. We hop on a Discord call. You get replay reviews during the session and ways to improve your overall game plan. On top of that, you get access to an exclusive in-game club called the Ryu Academy and an exclusive Discord channel with access to clips posted before they are uploaded on YouTube, only for members. Please note that there are limited seats for this, so if you want this, here's how to join. All what you have to do is press on the join button in my channel and my videos, pick Ryu Loyalist level 2 and send me your YouTube username on Discord. And that's it, you're in. This is not the first time I've done this, guys. I've helped multiple players before improve in Street Fighter 5, reaching from silver to diamond rank, and now this is the time to do it in Street Fighter 6 too. Whether you want the coaching sessions or you just want to support me and help the channel grow and help me do this full time, this is the best way to do it. I would like to thank everybody who has been helping this channel grow by watching my videos, leaving comments and likes. We are approaching 5,000 subscribers right now, and the journey to 10,000 subscribers starts right now. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, like the video and leave a comment. And without further ado, let's go back to the video. So there is one thing that you have to remember, okay? Why did somebody who has 19 characters in the roster, they can choose any other character, but they pick Zangief? Why would they do that? They pick Zangief because they want to SPD you, right? They want to do this and they want to SPD you. So you just need to remember this very well. Zangief players, they love their SPD, they love to be in that range, they love to be in front of you, so then they can get that SPD and get all of that damage from just one move, right? So your objective should always be to keep Zangief players away. You always want to keep Zangief players away. You want to zone them out. If you have a fireball, it's very good versus Zangief. It's not great. I'll explain to you why, but it's very good because you can zone them out. You can keep them out of you, keep them away from you, so then they don't SPD, they don't grab you, and you can be relatively safe. There are some caveats to this. You just don't want to be very like here. You don't want to be in this place. I'll explain to you why. You want to be somewhere around here, okay? If you can keep this distance with Zangief for the majority of the game, then you're doing really great. Why is that? Because over here you can throw some fireballs and you can be safe, and if they jump, you can anti-air them like that, you can TP. So this is the main thing. If your fireball game, if your fireball Hadouken into DP into Shoryuken is not great, like you cannot mix that up, then this matchup will be very difficult for you. Let me just say that from the beginning. So you have to be really good at throwing fireballs and anti-airing people if they jump. That is one main thing. The second thing is that you have to be out of the range of this heavy punch. You know, this heavy punch that Zangief players, they all love to charge, you know, because if they get a punish counter like that, it's gonna knock you out to the end of the screen. Then they can dash up and gain some space to the corner. Zangief is really strong in the corner. So if you have Zangief, if Zangief puts you in the corner, it's very strong for you. It's very strong for him because he can zone you out with some buttons like this, and he can just like SPD you from here. You know, if he's from like here, he can, you know, try to like SPD you. If I can replicate it, yeah, from here it's a little bit difficult. I think the light one has the best range. Hold up. Let me try to be Zangief and put you in the corner and do this. Yep, you can see that you can get SPD'd from like, you know, a range that is a little bit, you know, larger than what is what you think that you will get grabbed from, right? I'm not a Zangief player, so I'm not really good at executing SPDs, but you know what I'm talking about. You always get SPD'd at ranges and you'll be like, oh, that hits so far, you know, I got grabbed from so far away. So don't get to the corner. You as a player who's playing against Zangief, you don't want to be in the corner. You want to put Zangief in the corner, not you. Okay, so what I like to do in this matchup, I like to stay outside of the range of this heavy punch. Okay, because if you stay outside of this, okay, you can whiff punish it very easily. So if I stay like this, okay, here I got hit, I got blocked, but I can punish it very easily like that. So you want to be outside of this range, and the nice thing about this is that from here you're relatively safe from, you know, jump-ins. If you throw some fireballs, okay, you can anti-air them if they try to jump, right? So you are hitting two birds with one stone. You're staying in a space that allows you to whiff punish any kind of, like, you know, shenanigans that they try to do. If they're gonna do like a heavy punch, even if they don't charge it, by the way, even if they don't just do this, you know, you can whiff punish it very easily. Like, for example, if we can have the dummy do this without any kind of charge, you know, I can show you that it is very easily whiff punished, right? This button has like a lot of recovery frames, so you can easily just shoot for this. If you can get this with punish just once, you can then start your attack from there, your mix-ups from there, and continue your pressure and then win. Remember that Zangief does not have an EXTP, so they cannot really wake up with anything. Even their, if they don't have any supers, unless it's level 3, you should not be worried about Zangief's wake up, because only level 3 will beat your wake up options. Of course, that's a big factor of the Zangief game plan, is to have, you know, is to have the level 3, right? Because they can whiff a knee, you know, like this, and then level 3 you, or they can sometimes they jump, empty jump, and then level 3 you, because everybody over here is trying to, like, you know, parry parry jumping attacks. They're using parry as an anti-air, so they would just like empty jump and then SPD, or then level 3, or sometimes even light kick like this and then is level 3. So you just have to, like, you know, be wary of that level 3. You should not be giving them. You should not be like getting hit by a level 3. Of course, it's very difficult to, like, you know, keep it away. But if they have level 3, you should be, you know, worried, or should be anticipating that they're gonna wake up with it. So if you're going for a meaty dash front, dash back, that's much better, because then they will be they're gonna wait. They're gonna, you know, whiff the level 3. Let me just show you over here. If they do a level 3, for example, this one, okay, and then we do this, and if I dash forward to get my Oki, I'm getting super, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dash forward, dash back, and then if it whiffs, it's whiff like that, and then I can get like a punish counter. So you get what I'm trying to say, right? If they have a level 3, yes, you are this way, you might lose the chance of, like, you know, continuing your pressure. But remember, if they hit you, you're gonna lose half of your health. Or if they have CA, they're gonna hit you with, like, you know, insane amount of damage. Let me just show you the amount of damage that they can do if it's a CA, like this, okay, and hold up. Look at the damage that they're gonna inflict just from a super and its SP and a CA. Look at the amount of damage. That is how much? That is 5,300, right? That's on CA. So you're basically, if you have like half health, you're dead. So just be careful not to get hit with this super. You have to, like, you know, be aware of the supers that they have, because if they have super level 1, it's trash. Okay, Zangief super level 1 is trash. There's no actual benefit to having it. Normally what Zangief players would do if they have level 2, normally Zangief players, you know, they either wake up with level 3 if they have it, or they will, you know, try to whiff a knee and then do level 3, or try to jump light kick level 3, or empty jump level 3, something like that, right? They will try to, like, you know, slide it in somewhere, because they cannot combo off of the level 3 unless it's you know, you're in crumbling state, like, you know, from a drive rush or from a drive impact hit or something like that. So normally they will either use level 3 in that way, or level 2 to you know, hit the fireball. So for example, if I'm just spamming fireballs like this, they will do level 2 on reaction. They can do this on reaction to the fireball, and then they can punish you, right? And I believe they can choose where the level 2 actually ends with. It's gonna end in front or back. So if you're in the corner and you're throwing fireballs, or he's in the corner, if Zangief is in the corner and you're throwing fireballs to him, he can do level 2 and then put you in the corner, and then you're dead from there. So just be careful of that. Always bait this this level 2. If they have level 2 and you see them wiggling like this, you know that they're buffering level 2, right? They're you know, anticipating a fireball, so then they can super it with level 2. So if you're from here, you know, I would say try to do something like this, because this is gonna recover in time. Or, you know, sometimes some of these Zangief players, they actually wake up with level 2. So actually they cannot actually wake up with level 2. I'll show you why. So for example, if we do this and we have level 2 as the wake up option, wait, hold up, let me show you. If they wake up this way, I'll manage to block, right? Only if I do this. Okay, if I go for like a heavy punch or something like that, then it's not gonna work. So the properties, you know, it will not beat a lot of your you know, options in as like, if you're plus and you're pressuring them and they wake up with level 2, normally speaking, it will not punish you. It will not, you know, if you time your meteors correctly, it will not punish you. You still get to block, right? Unless you go for something that's heavy, like, you know, a Hashogeki, heavy Hashogeki, you know, on the wake up or something like that. Let me show you. If I go for something like this and on the wake up, you know, something like that, I'll get hit, right? So if I go for something like this, medium punch, I'll get the block. So, you know, and then you can, after this, you can punish them. You know, if you do something like that, just wait it out, and then you can get a full punish like this, just like a Shoryuken. Or if you want, you can parry it, so that you can get more meter from this. But don't hold parry. Just tap the parry. Just hold it for like a second, and then let go of it, because you don't want to be, you know, unable to execute the punish after this if you hold parry. This is a problem that a lot of people do. Okay, so this is just a quick overview of the supers that are actually useful in this matchup for Zangief. So just be wary of those. If he has level 2 and you're throwing fireballs, that's a mistake, because they can input a level 2 on reaction and then punish your fireballs, right? So be wary of that. If they have level 2 and you know that they are capable of doing this, do not throw some fireballs. Stay away. You know, maybe do this light Hashiragi as a bait for the super, and then if they do it, you're gonna be able to block and then punish them. Don't do it from like very close range, because it's still gonna grab you, because you're still in recovery frames of this one, right? So you don't want to do that. One more thing about Zangief, as we said, you know, stay in the range outside of the heavy punch. That's very important. You have to be able to anti-air them very well. One more thing about Zangief is that, you know, some of these Zangief players will spam heavy punch right in front of your face. If you're not over here, they might do heavy punch a lot. Like, they might do this a lot, right? This. So if we set the dummy to do something like this, okay, and then heavy punch, this is actually DI vulnerable a lot. So if you just see it, you can just DI him like this, right? Even sometimes it doesn't even need to charge fully like this. You know, doesn't even need to charge fully, and then we can just DI it and get a punch. So make sure that if you see this, if you're in the range of it, if you're in the range, like, you cannot just walk back. You can see, like, I can't really walk back. Like if I'm here, I can't really walk back, because if he's in the animation of it, I can't really walk back. But if you are in the animation, if you're stuck in that area and you are in the range of the heavy punch, DI it. They cannot do anything about it. DI it, and then you'll get a easy punish counter. One more thing also about Lariat. Lariat is also a very good button, a very good thing to do versus fireballs. I believe Lariat is done. How do you even do a Lariat? Hold up. Lariat is only like the regular one is only like this, and the EX1 is like three punches. Okay, so this is actually a very good anti-air, not the regular one. The regular one is actually trash for anti-airs because if you jump if you cross them up and they do like the regular one, you're gonna win. But if they do the EX1, sometimes it whiffs, sometimes it doesn't hit, but it's a good anti-air. So jumping on Zangief is actually not a good idea, because this is so easy to input. There's no like there's no motions in this. It's just 3 buttons, right? And what's more is that this actually beats fireballs. If they do the EX1, this actually beats fireballs from like a range like this. So at a higher level, you should not be throwing fireballs from this side or from the Lariat range, because he can just walk forward, and then once he sees the fireball, he can just double Lariat like this, and then it will punish you. But to be honest, I don't see a lot of Zangief players doing this. Maybe 1 or 2. Ever since I've played this Street Fighter 6, only 1 or 2 are actually doing this. The other ones are not doing it. So be careful of this. If you face somebody who's doing this at a higher level, you have to be able to bait it. You can bait it with a light Hashogi, as we have said. If you want, you can bait it with a light Hashogi, but don't do it too close, because it will also hit you in your recovery frames. You want to do it from like longer ranges like this, and then you can bait it, and then you can get a punish. One more thing about the Lariat is that if you do it, you can just get like a punish like this, because sometimes what happens is that you're trying to get a punish like this, and let's say that it's a regular one, because I think this thing happens a lot with the regular one, where if you try to punish it, you get hit like that. You see that? I'm trying to punish it with a heavy kick and I got hit. So you have to wait. Okay, you have to wait a little bit. Okay, until the second hit actually whiffs, and then you can punish counter it. Or if you don't want to deal with all this, just like DI it like this. But be careful that you're actually taking some gray health from this. So if you're about to die and you do this, then he might actually kill you. That happened to me before. If you try to punch with the DI, because the damage, the gray health will actually kill you. So you have to be. That's one of the things that you can punish this Lariat with. I want to just mention one thing about this heavy punch. If you don't want to DI it, you can actually do. You can hit him low. If you hit him low, I think you'll get a counter hit from this, right? Yeah, if you hit them low, you can get a counter hit. But if you hit him high, it will be an armor for him, and it will beat you. One more thing also, that they do this to beat some fireballs. Some people who don't do the EX Lariat to beat some fireballs or reaction, they do heavy punch, and because of the armor, if it's charged slightly, you get armor, so it beats the fireball and then it hits you on your recovery frames from the fireball. So that can also be a punish for the fireball. So the entire thing about this matchup is you have to be patient. You have to be staying in this range where that heavy punch whiffs. If you're not in front of, if you're in the range, if you're forced to be in the range, just make sure that you DI that heavy punch. You have to do that, okay? Because a lot of Zangief players, they do this, or they're gonna run, they're gonna jump, or they're gonna drive rush and then SPD you. So you have to be ready to not get hit with that SPD, right? Another thing about this matchup is you have to understand something about SPDs. SPDs is actually a risk for you and for them, because if they whiff the SPD, or if you jump it, or if you backdash it, there are you can punish the SPD. If you want the SPD to whiff, you can we're talking SPD is the grab, okay, the command grab. So you can make it whiff by just dashing back, or by jumping, neutral jumping, right? So what if you successfully jump or avoid it? It's actually like a lot of a lot of damage for them. You can punish counter them and get like full damage off of them. So it is a risk for both parties. Okay, it's a high risk reward for him. It's a high risk, high reward for Zangief, and it's also the same thing for you. It's high risk for you to jump because he can super you. If you jump like this, he can do level 1 and super you, or he can just air SPD, or he can just Lariat. But if you successfully guess right, you can get a full punish. So one more thing about the SPDs, they try to do this sometimes. They try to grab you like this. You know, this one, it's very easy to, like, you know, you can see, you can just, you know, just jump and then get a full punish like this. Or if it's done right in front of your face, you can just interrupt it like that, like punches. I believe if you do medium punch, even this one will actually like work. But if you do, like, you know, if you do it very late, it will still work. What is the point of this? Yeah. Yeah, but you know, if you do it at the end of the animation, there is armor. But if it's done from like the beginning of the animation, there is no armor. So that's the thing about it. I believe the EX1 is actually much more difficult to, like, you know, to react to. If I believe, hold up, it's supposed to be EX1. Yeah. So this one has armor. But you know, you can still do the same thing. You can still, but it should not be at the end of the animation. But if you're at this point, if you see it from here, you can just jump it like that and they get a punish, right? But if it's done right in front of your face, you can interrupt it. Even the EX1. Yes, the EX1 is harder to react to, but it's still it can be done. So don't let Zangief players, you know, get away with this. If they're always doing this, don't let them get away with this. One more thing is, a lot of Zangief players in neutral, they love using their sweep. They do this all the time, and it is -13. So this means that, you know, if you block this, like this, they're using it as a crouching medium kick, okay? But it's very minus on block. So if you get hit with this, you can just, or if you block it, you can just, you know, sweep it. It looks off a little bit because it doesn't look like a sweep. It looks like a crouching medium kick, but it's actually a sweep. Okay, from longer ranges might be a little bit difficult to, like, anti-air, to, like, punish it. Like here. Okay, this one was possible. Let's try to, like, you know, yeah, from here to whiff. So from max ranges, it's a little bit difficult to, like, you know, punish. But also on whiff, if they whiff it, you should be able to, like, you know, to whiff punish it like this. This is very important. Because I know from experience that a lot of Zangief players, they do this. They love to sweep, especially after an SPD. After they hit you with an SPD, like for example, this one. You know, if they do this, they will do this. Yeah, how many times have you seen Zangief players do this, right? You know, if you get hit with something like that, let me just show you. You can just hold walk and then punish them like this. So after an SPD, generally speaking, Zangief does not have Oki. So normally what you'll do is, you think that they have Oki, especially after the drive rush. So you're just gonna be walking back, trying to get that SPD to whiff, and they know that. So they're gonna SPD you, drive rush, and then sweep because you're trying to walk back, right? So they don't have Oki from this. They don't have, like, you know, SPD Oki from this. So just if you get hit with an SPD, just block low, wake up, block low. Because if this happens, if you see them drive rushing, they are gonna do this. Sometimes they do drive rush heavy punch, drive rush heavy, you know, like charge heavy punch like this. They try to do that sometimes. So just block low. If they cannot really SPD you from here because they're far away from you. If they try to SPD, it's gonna whiff. You're gonna get the full punish like a Shoryuken punish. And if you're just walking back, you know, if you're just holding down back and they do sweep, you're gonna get a punish, right? You're gonna punish the sweep and then start your offense from there. Speaking about starting your offense, there is one more thing about this matchup that I have to, like, tell you. How many times you're, like, in front of Zangief and they just you know, wake up SPD and or like interrupt your block stings with SPD. So let me just show you something. If I do a block string that is 3 buttons, right? So let's put it as OD. Okay, let's put it as OD, and then we put, you know, count as 3 or count as 2, right? After 2 hits, after blocking 2 hits, he's gonna do the SPD, right? So if I do something like this, I'm gonna get grabbed. So let me just show you what I've done over here. If I do a block string like this, let's say I'm trying to, like, you know, do something like this, or do something like this one, right? This does not work versus Zangief, especially if a Zangief player does SPD mid block strings. Like if you're doing a block string, a long ass block string like this, okay, he is gonna SPD you. Let me just show you over here. You see that this is gonna whiff, but if I do this, okay, you will get hit with the SPD. So you have to be careful. Normally what I like to do is I like to, like, you know, press 2 buttons and then dash back. You know, if I'm pressuring you know, Zangief and he's not getting hit, okay, if he's not getting hit, if he's getting hit, I'm continuing my combo with the Tatsu, then I can get into the corner and continue my pressure. If he is blocking it, I'm just gonna do 2 buttons and then dash back, because normally what I'm seeing is that Zangief players, they do SPD after 2 buttons. After they block 2 buttons, they will do SPD. Because they know that the block strings over here in this game are not real. A lot of the block strings, especially after the second hit, after the second block, they're not real. They are minus, right? So if I do something like, you know, this one, I can. So if I do like 3 buttons like this, okay, like drive rush 3 buttons like this is not real, right? So they can interrupt you with an SPD, especially if you delay this one a little bit. If I delay like my light kick a little bit, if I don't time it correctly, I will get SPD. But if I do it on time, if I do it immediately, I will punish them. But if I do any kind of, like, you know, anything other than light punches or like light kicks or something like that, I will get SPD. So you have to be careful. Don't extend your block strings a lot versus Zangief, because there is a risk of you getting SPD, especially if you know that this player does, you know, SPD on your block strings. During your block strings, you should definitely bait with dash back. Okay, press 2 buttons and then dash back like this. Okay, you can dash back and then get like a full punish, right? So that's one thing that you have to note. Mostly it's different from person to person. Sometimes people they mash SPD from like the first hit, from the third hit. So mostly I see people doing it from the second hit. So just be careful of that. If you know that the opponent is doing this, try to like bait it, try to, like, you know, punch it with like, you know, or counter it with like a light punch or like a light kick. If your button whiffs, GG's, you're gonna get grabbed with the SPD. It has to be in range, or if you don't want to deal with all that, just dash back, and then yes, you're ending your pressure, but you are safe from the SPD. If it's whiffed, then, you know, if the SPD whiffs, then you can get full punish on them, right? So these are the major stuff. Another thing is that just make sure that remember that Zangief does not have an EXTP. So a lot of Zangief players, they like to grab a lot as a defensive option. They like to tech a lot. So shimmying Zangief is not a bad idea, unless you are getting eaten. You're eating an SPD when you're doing a shimmy. So that's very bad. So as I said, the shimmy is a very good option versus Zangief, because they're lacking in terms of their defensive options. So sometimes they tech a lot. Zangief players, from what I've seen, they tech a lot because they don't have an EXTP, right? So if you see that they tech a lot, just shimmy them. But there is an option of you eating the SPD. If you try to shimmy, if you try to hold back, you can eat the SPD like that. But sometimes it work versus the grab like this. So it depends on what they do, right? It depends on what they do. But SPD cannot work on wake up. So if they wake up with SPD like this, it will not work, guys. So if you're getting hit with this, you know, no, this is block. Let's have it as a wake up option. If you're getting hit with this, then you're not timing your meaties correctly, because if I time my meaty correctly, then it's not gonna hit me. But if I don't time it as the first time, you know, I am gonna eat the SPD. So if you're unsure about if you're getting hit with SPD on wake up, make sure that you time your meat is correctly. Set the dummy to do this in on wake up, and then you can practice your meat timings. You can also do something like this, and boom. It's not gonna work. So they cannot wake up SPD. If they wake up SPD and you time your meat correctly, it is gonna beat them. So these are the points, these are the things that you have to like, be careful with versus, Zangief. Even if they do something like this, some Zangief players, they love to do this knee, whiff it, and then SPD you. You don't want to do that because, if you don't want to be in that place. You want to whiff punish this. You want to punish this very, very well. Like you can do it very consistently if you see it, but you just have to be quick with it, right? Like that. You just have to be ready for it. One more thing is some Zangief players, they love doing this, right? They love doing this. This is actually -6, so you have to be like quick with it, right? But also if they, for example, if they whiff this, you can punish them very easily with the sweep. You can do that. Also, if they go for the 3 buttons one, if they go for this, let me show you. If they go for this, this is -17. So if you block this, you can get like a punish counter like this one, as if you're punishing a DP. So yeah, these are the stuff that you have to be careful with. I believe also this one. How do you do the this one? This one is also plus. You just have to be careful with it. If they do this, if you block this, it's not your turn. So don't press buttons. Don't try to jump or something. They will probably try to continue with like a light punch or something like this. So just be careful that this one is actually plus. If you block it, it's not your turn. You have to respect it. So yeah, these are the stuff that you have to be careful against Zangief. Main thing, you have to be in this range. You have to be whiff punishing those heavy punches. If you are in the range, you have to be drive impacted them. You have to anti-air Zangief if he jumps, because Zangief has an amazing jumping attack, which is this one. Okay, he has this one. He has he has this one, this medium kick, right? This medium kick hits so low, so if he just jumps, he can hit you midway in the air like this. So you don't want to be hit with this, because it will hit you while you're trying to buffer a DP. So just be careful that you input the DP very quickly. You have to anti-air them very quickly if you want to meet them air to air. Do that, but there's a risk of you, if you do it multiple times, there's a risk of you getting SPD in the air also. So remember, SPD is a risk for you and for him. If he does SPD, it is a risk. He's taking a risk. Is succeeded, okay, but is it gonna be succeed? Is it gonna succeed every time? No. So you have to make him think about it. The best option for me to bait these or to punish these SPDs is to backdash. It's normally the safest option, but there is a chance of you getting hit with counter hits, and then you can drive rush, and then they can if they press light punches or something, they can catch you while trying to backdash, and then they can drive rush if they continue. But if you want, you can neutral jump. Neutral jumping is good, but there is an option. There is a chance of you missing the read and you get air grabbed, or you get level 1 super. They can hit you with a level 1, or they can just Lariat and then anti-air you, right? You don't want that. So make sure that you don't get hit with the SPD. I know that's very difficult, and if you get hit with the SPD and you're not in the corner, they don't have SPD Oki, just block low. And as I said, make sure that you bait the jump ins with this one, with the light Oki. Even if they're parrying it, if they're parrying fireballs a lot, do this and then grab, drive rush and then grab, because they can't be holding. They might try to they think that you're throwing a fireball, but you're actually throwing this one, so you're just gonna drive rush and grab them, right? So these are the ways that you can beat Zangief. If you're in front of them, make sure that you get the most damage as possible, but don't extend your block strings that much, because there is a chance of you eating a SPD during your own block string, right? So yeah, let me know guys if you found this helpful, if you found this video, you know, helpful for you. Please leave a like and comment down below which matchup do you want next. We're trying to cover all the characters in this game, so yeah, it's not easy, but you know, so I'm starting off with the matchups that I have the most knowledge in. So yeah guys, with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.